Today I have a special guest again, Mr. Brain. Hello, Mr. Brain. Oh, hello, Ken. How are you doing? Well, I'm fine. Mr. Brain, I would like to, I heard that you have something special in your sleeve. You are gonna say something that is really good for your brain. What is it? Welcome. Today I'm gonna say that small talks are really great for your brain. Small talks. I mean, having a chat or speaking about random things over a glass of wine and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's right. Small talks are actually the pinnacle of brain's functionality. Oh, is it? Not mathematics? Puzzle solving? Small talks are actually the as best as human brains can be. Yeah, that's right. Because you should remember Alan Turing, was a really great mathematician who invented the modern concept of computers. He said that by conducting small talks, you can judge the functionalities and abilities of a computer. What do you mean by that? Well, in the so-called Turing test, you have a small talk with a computer, and if that small talk is indistinguishable in quality and in scope with the small talks you have with a typical human being, then you can say that the computer is as intelligent as a human being. Oh, so you mean the small talk is kind of a measure for intelligence? Yeah, that's right. So, if you carry out a random conversation with somebody, you can pretty well guess what kind of intellect he or she or they have. So, it is quite an interesting idea because, people tend to think that small talks are not so valuable. I mean, they are nonsensical things. But actually, small talks are the pinnacle of human brain functionality. Oh, that's an interesting idea. So why is that? Well, in small talks, you have to be really, really flexible. So, for example, suppose you start with a casual talk about Major League Baseball. But as you discuss Major League Baseball, you might say that you have been to Boston's Fenway Park, and you might say that they have this thing that is called Green Monster, which is a vertical wall in the ballpark. And from that Green Monster thing, you might be saying that, wow, I have seen a monster in my childhood, and that monster was hairy. And oh, did you imagine it? I'm not sure because I was in the backyard and it was dark and it was getting twilight, and I saw this hairy monster coming out of the neighbor's garden. And you would say, oh, isn't that a dog? And you would say, oh, I'm not sure, but it might have been a dog. But at that time, it did look like a hairy monster. And you might say, well, probably that's an effect of child psychology. Because, for a child, reality is smaller than your imagination. You kind of run your imagination wild, and then you might actually see a little doggy as a hairy monster. Well, Mr. Brain, so what you're saying is that even though you might start from baseball small talk, you might actually go on to keep the conversation, and then you might actually starting monster small talk. That's right. So you can really predetermine the range of topics in the small talks. So that means you have to be very, very flexible, and you have to be very instantaneous and very creative. So small talks is actually where you are the most creative person in your daily life. I see. I didn't know that, Mr. Wang. That's amazing. That's simply amazing. So, what is your conclusion today? Well, small talks are good for your brain. So just do it. Oh, just do it?